A steel billet drops onto a scale. The number locks at 27,000. Not because it is rare, because it is controlled.
Oyster steel starts as a high corrosion stainless alloy selected for toughness, polish response, and stability under salt and sweat. Composition is a compromise.
Metallurgy is not romantic. It is grain structure, inclusions, and heat history. A cut section is inspected for defects that will become pits after polishing.
The stock is faced and squared. Every reference surface is created to control the next operation. This is where geometry begins. Rough milling removes mass fast, but it cannot remove risk. The case profile emerges in stages to prevent warping. Drilling and threading are treated like structural engineering, not assembly. Threads must start clean to avoid galling in stainless.
Any burr left on an edge becomes a crack initiation point under shock. Polished bevels are cut to a precise boundary.
Stress distribution is designed into the case. Lug thickness, crown guard shape, and caseback geometry determine how impacts move through the structure.
The reason the Explorer 2 exists is consequence, not nostalgia. It was built for legibility and orientation when day and night blur.
Brand history stays inside engineering. Rolex pursued incremental improvements with obsessive standardization. That approach. The dial starts as stamped metal, with surfaces designed to control reflection. Stamping creates shape fast, but
Printing is controlled contrast. The camera moves to micro-registration, text alignment, minute track precision, and ink consistency.
Sapphire is shaped like engineering glass, not gemstone. It is hard, brittle, and unforgiving to point loads.
The movement begins as a system of energy and losses. The mainspring stores energy, but every gear mesh bleeds it.
the escapement is the gatekeeper. It converts continuous spring force into discrete impulses. The balance wheel and hairspring are the oscillator. Frequency is chosen as a trade between stability and consumption.
Automatic winding is efficiency engineering. The rotor converts wrist motion into spring tension through a reverser system and reduction gears.
Lubrication is a science of where oil stays.
Regulation is controlled compromise. The movement is tested in multiple positions, because gravity changes friction and balance behavior.
Assembly is clean discipline. The camera goes wide, controlled benches, anti-static measures, and minimal movement. Then macro, a jewel pressed with measured force.
Fans are installed like mechanical clearance management. Clearance is invisible until it fails.
Casing the movement is where two worlds meet. The case is engineered for sealing. The movement is engineered for timekeeping. Pressure testing is mechanical survival, not theater. The documentary shows controlled chambers that apply pressure. Survival is not only running, it is keeping time after the event. This is engineering value the wearer never celebrates. Magnetic resistance is modern reality. The documentary frames it as a mechanical variable. Thermal stability is an invisible test that exposes weak design. Metals expand. Oils change viscosity. Final inspection is not glamour. It is verification. Quiet consistency is the end product. That boundary line is control made visible. The bracelet is not an accessory. It is load management. The
crown is a mechanical doorway. Every opening is a contamination event and a seal stress event.
The caseback closure is controlled compression, not brute force.
surface finishing has an enemy: time. Brushed grain can be erased by careless refinishing. Polished bevels can be softened into ambiguity. Weight is a mechanical variable, not for comfort talk, for inertia and shock. Serviceability is engineered from the start. Screws must withstand multiple torque cycles without stripping. Gaskets must be replaceable without tearing seats.
The bezel is not decoration, It is a fixed reference surface machined to stay readable after abrasion.
The GMT hand is a system of tolerances that must feel precise in the fingers. The documentary isolates the setting clicks.
Water resistance depends on surfaces you never admire. The documentary revisits gasket learns as the key.
Gaps become rattle, stress concentration, and dirt channels. The clasp is a locking device engineered for repetition. The final timing verification is done after full assembly because casing changes behavior. Each step can introduce tiny shifts.
The closing sequence returns to a single oyster steel surface under the same key light from the hook. Now the viewer understands what the reflection represents.
The lug holes and spring bar shoulders are small, but they carry real load.
The caseback gasket is a simple part with a complex job. Elastomers age. They harden. The crystal gasket and bezel interface are another silent failure point. The channel must be smooth enough to avoid cutting the gasket, but textured enough to hold it.
The crown guards are geometry with a purpose: impact management.
The bracelet finishing is matched to the case so wear patterns age coherently. Brushing direction controls how scratches appear over time. The next layer of cost is documentation and traceability, because repeatability needs memory.
The tolerances that matter most are the ones that interact with gaskets.
The movement's bridges are not only structural, they are alignment systems.
The gear train finishing is targeted, not decorative. Polishing is applied where it reduces friction without destroying oil retention. The rotor system is tested for efficiency under low motion, because that is how most people live. The setting mechanism is a stress point because it involves user force, not spring force. Misalignment here leads to stripped teeth.
The final assembly check includes tactile acoustics, not sound for drama, sound as feedback.
Another wear point is the clasp interface, because it lives in sweat and grit. The bezel engraving is revisited under wear conditions. The documentary isolates a single numeral after abrasion exposure.
The movement's long-term stability is validated through simulated aging, not claims.
Raw material becomes expensive only when it is forced through controlled constraints, without failure.
The final mechanical variable is the human interface cycle.